Welcome to another Youth Truth podcast. This might be how you write a book. Entitle it, Enrich Your Life and Finances. Following in the footsteps of my grandpa, utilizing some written words, you could coin the phrase, print some $2 bills. Who knows? But this might be how you practice becoming an author. Enrich your life and finances. Well, this automatic focus and my shaky hands because I'm nervous. You might try to develop a product, do some shade tree engineering, be criticized for your sins. You might shade tree engineer something from your bucket of bolts to hold your bones steady so you don't get that wiggle. Well, I tried to turn on the light, and I don't know how it's going to offend Freckles. It hurts her eyes. And maybe she's wandering away. I don't want to scare her, so I'm going to try and get it back on. Look at how her eyes reflect that and how attentive she is. But I will tell you that over here, underneath these structures that I put out there with a dirt mound for my favorite wild friend Freckles, that I know for a fact that there's at least 2 baby bunnies buried in that mound. And I've just been following Freckles. Looks like just one. So cute. There might be another one that showed its face at the hole. I believe there is a second one. I hope it's strong enough to survive as well. But getting back on subject, I thought you might want to practice writing a book. So, can you describe the situation in the dark using words created by your mind, which is a miracle of creation, evolution? Can you use your imagination and realize that my little bunny rabbit is a pretend psychiatrist? Listens real well with them 2 big ears that can hear things for miles. It's a docile creature. Doesn't harm a soul. Goes about its instinctive laws of nature without fail. I have some photos of her giving birth to at least those two babies with a large white domestic cat in the yard next door, paying attention, never diverting her attention for more than 30 seconds. Whew, that's a long time. If you ever took your eyes off the road for 30 seconds, a whole lot can happen. But my channel is kind of a conglomerate of shade tree engineering, my belief in the one thing that binds all Americans together is that we can claim the title of American for whatever reason. Citizens are a member of a community. My little community consists of my family, neighbors, and friends. Yours is probably the same. But I've theorized and philosophically thought, what binds all Americans together? And so far, and maybe you have comments, I've been told freedom. But what gives us our freedom? If you Google jurisprudence, it says it's the theory and philosophy of law. Well, that leaves a fairly large rabbit hole to go down. And yet, through my biological study, I have not found a very deep rabbit hole. All these holes are 10 to 16 inches deep, designed to protect the infants that she places in them. Freckles. And then she buries them up. And my conclusion scientifically is they're almost like a mole when they're born. They look like a mole. They crawl around the ground as babies within the weeds like a mole. Start life underground. They do need mama's milk, and she comes over and uncovers them and they suckle. I've seen it with my own eyes. Wasn't able to capture it on film. I do have and I'm going to post it. If my equipment doesn't have too many technical difficulties. But if you Google jurisprudence, it will say theoretical and psychological considerations towards law. And then bullet point. It says it's a legal system. And that robot, which is trying to compete with the intellect of the human brain, is only one example. American jurisprudence. And that might be what binds us together. The Constitution, more or less, sets a standard for rules on what the government can do to allow us freedom and some sort of civil community. And I like to just revert to what a child says. I didn't do anything wrong. I did not hurt anybody. Sticks and stones break bones, but words cannot hurt me. That might be the simplest 6 words I can say about jurisprudence. Now, if they can find any tiny bit of harm in any form or fashion, they want to restrict our freedom. However, we've got to the point that we don't believe that words cannot hurt me. However, physically, now emotionally, I don't know. Development of the human mind from a small age starts with telling them what not to do. Don't touch the oven, you'll burn your hands. Don't play with fire, you're not smart enough to control it yet. However, that's what set us apart from my friend Freckles. Also having the opposable thumb, 2 arms, and a maybe 3rd hand if you use your teeth, your knee, your toe, whatever you got to help you engineer a project. My goodness. Me having been able to accomplish most things by myself because finding an assistant is like biting into the most valuable asset everybody has, time. And don't even ask them for money. But I live with my backyard and a wide open view of a public elementary school. And on field day, I could not understand what they were teaching our children when they gave all of them one of them styrofoam noodles that keeps you afloat in a swimming pool, and put everybody in a group and told them to beat on each other with that thing. Of course, they gave everybody a participation ribbon. But is that trying to teach us as a society that we're supposed to go forth and challenge everybody with a wet noodle, beat on them as hard as we can? The only positive thing I observe in that would be that maybe it could teach bravery. Can you step in the ring knowing that something ain't gonna hurt you and stand up for yourself? Bravery only comes out of fear. You have to overcome something. And maybe we should try and help our children develop that, rather than worrying about what everybody else thinks. Are you brave enough to do what you want or would like to do? Now, I'm trying to write an audio-visual book in the middle of the night, talking to a rabbit that's still here. I don't, I can't prove it. And whether you have faith in my integrity, I'm not sure. She moved because she heard a little change in my voice. I've shown you pictures of how much this rabbit trusts me. I can get within 5-7 feet of her with a lawnmower. A screaming loud machine while she's comfortable and knows that I'm really not out to get her. A little update on BB, baby bunny, hanging out for a week or two. I saw her venture out into my driveway towards the front yard yesterday or the day before. But since yesterday venture, I don't know whether she was scared by a predator, chased by a human, scared by a noise, whatever. She's in the flight mode, running wild through the country, trying to find a safe place to live in her docile lifestyle. I've somehow questioned my mind, because it's always good to question yourself. Could this mama rabbit have chased her away because she's a female? Now, I might know that because physically I ruined her habitat when I pulled the weeds on the south side of my house and saw her there. And rather than leave her to the wolves, cats, dogs, hawks, kestrels, smallest bird of prey in Colorado, there are foxes, coyotes, a lot of wildlife I've observed just by sitting in my backyard at the break of day. It's how I enjoy some of the simple things. And I'm not sure that people take time to enjoy simple things any longer. We all have our problems to solve, our challenges in life. And I accept all of mine. Face them standing up, eyeball to eyeball. And believe in my opinion, just like a child. I'm not doing anything wrong because I'm not hurting anyone. Despite whether it looks appealing to you or to my neighbor. But because of jurisprudence, I believe that they can do whatever they want. They have the freedom of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, as long as it doesn't hurt me. Words don't hurt me. And those are expressions of opinions. And by the laws of nature, I guess we're all allowed them. However, we should be taught the tolerance of acceptance and equality of every beautiful mind which controls every individual. And all doors to riches, remember this is enrich your life, and finances, because happiness might be interchangeable with prosperity. Happiness is well-being and a state of, doggone, I'll remember the word, contentment. And we're all pretty content if we can prosper enough to enjoy the little things, the roses, the birds in our backyard, my baby bunny, the company of my wife and daughter and her friends, without getting into some argument, debate. I like the word debate. However, nobody wants to use a paragraph any longer if you can't get to the point in under 6 words or less. But that should be saved for a title, not the discussion between 2 people. I'm not sure how long my phone will continue with. What a beautiful thing. Freckles giving birth. I saw one baby at her most vulnerable. There are predators in the distance. But I believe she'll fulfill her natural obligations. Gotta love this rabbit. You might even try to adjust the light on your phone so that you can sit out here at 4:30 in the morning. To repeat that, because once again my machine's acting up. Technical difficulties, almost like the robots trying to shut down my electrical device because it doesn't like my opinion. And I'm not so sure that with certain devices, that artificial intelligence isn't trying to control what we should be allowed to say on the Senate floor without worry, but just discuss it. So I'm going to see how this turned out. Practice makes perfect. But like I didn't know the title, the rants and my daily rant and rave. That sounds violent. My daily philosophical discussion, theoretical, or just jurisprudence, or my fellow Americans. I hope you enjoy your day. It's Thursday, July 27th. And if any of you are old enough to remember this, it's Walter Cronkite signing off. Well, should I steal his his signature move, or just hope you have a wonderful day. Make the best of it. Enrich your life and finances. Say goodbye to the people, Freckles. Ask them to come back. Stay tuned. More to come. I know you can't say anything. However, a rabbit only makes noise when it's under duress.